Hi, Davi here, and today we have a new episode in the art class series, and today we'll be doing a challenge. Maybe this is how I should do my sessions for this series, but I'm gonna try. Let me just expand the canvas a bit. Or you know what? Whoa. So we'll do a bunch of studies here. And basically we'll do maybe gestures. Well, it depends. I think I'm going to focus more right now. I think the thing I want to really improve on is my people stuff. Basically human beings, whether anatomy, muscles, fat, clothing, anything that has to do with people. That's kind of what I want to do. So I'm gonna focus on that, but also I think with that I'm gonna allow or force myself to, or basically limit myself to Pinterest, meaning whatever comes up in the feed, if you open up Pinterest, that's what I'm gonna draw. Obviously it has a concern like a person for the most part, so again, a human being. Yeah, so this chick is quite buff, by the way. Like bodybuilder type. And how do you simplify this? Because she has a lot of muscle, guys. Oh my god, look at her shoulders, like the size of her freaking face or head. Goals. Interesting. There's kind of when the arm is being bent, there's kind of like a line here that's supposed to indicate like it's being squished. It's fat at the bottom. It's thinner here. Does that, right? The first knuckle, second knuckle, second knuckle, first knuckle, second knuckle. Does that? Damn, even drawing the hands, kind of hard. I'm not doing a totally good job, but gotta start somewhere. Oh my god, let's just focus on her back, like the midline where the spine is. It kind of curves. Jesus Christ, kind of like that. Oh my, her lats are so fucking huge as well. I'm not sure if I should zoom in or zoom out, but right, that's where the lat kind of stops, and then there's another bit of meat. Well, I guess her lower torso, kind of like that. And the idea of this is over time we're gonna sort of get the vibes of the body, because the body is limited, right? 2 arms, 2 legs. So there's only so many configurations. If you have a good experience or a good sort of if you're just used to drawing the body, I think it's gonna show in your work. Is this a good study? I'm doubting myself already. Oh no, it's over. It's over. Why is it over? I've been drawing this for 4 minutes ish. I think it's too much information. That's why I'm kind of struggling. But it's a good try. I'm not even gonna bother drawing because there's so many freaking striations. I don't even know where to begin. Just do this shoulder blade. It looks like the blade is somewhere here. Oh, we're cooked. We're so fucking cooked. Next, we have some like feet here. I want to learn how to draw the feet. It's like my most feet. Oh, so in the back of the heel, right? This is the heel. It's like a line here, kind of like what's happening here. When it's being squished. When flesh is being squished, it's gonna cause that line. Okay, so that's a leg. It does something like this. Goes to a point, kind of like that, and then big toe. And you see the other side of the foot. Let's erase this. You see the other side of like where the big toe is, kind of like that. Interesting. And kind of like the back of the knee. That's like the back of the knee. And the leg is kind of like that. Oh. The heel. It's actually kind of like it does this a bit. It goes out. Interesting. Soft padding. Yeah, maybe split the foot into like 3 parts. You have like this part over here, kind of a quick rectangle, and then the toes. It's kind of hard to see because the image is kind of blurry, but also the image is not too like high resolution, but that's a good. Not bad. Oh, let's just erase this. Let's simplify this. Okay, the line is going to be somewhere there, and then that's going to be like that. Okay. So think of a ball and then draw that. Like a hidden ball. Oh wow. Now we have 2 images. I can also draw like anime stuff, because even if the face is anime, I don't mind. The point is it has to be like a human character. As much as poses are cool, oh shit, let's go here. I noticed we're kind of zoomed in. I could zoom out, but I want to show like my screen. And it's fun to draw kind of zoomed in a bit. There's kind of a head here, right? So this one, she has a bit of a, it's an anime chick. If I want to learn how to draw anime, I gotta do some anime. Thing is, I often don't know where to start. Should I draw the eyes first, the head? It's like fucking, and the thing is also to draw it quickly. Kind of like a gesture. So you know what, we'll draw like a circle, a quick circle like that. Show where the eyes are supposed to be, kind of like that. Right? Jesus Christ. How do people draw anime? I wanna draw anime so bad. I wanna draw my waifus. Or husbandos, all of it. Even the infamous ugly bastard, I want to draw them all. For those of you who know the I don't want to traumatize you folks, but interesting. So her neck is kind of like this. Her shoulder, you can see it a little bit here. And then her shoulder again pops out right there, and then the arm and like that. And her body goes here, right? Another line for the armpit. Interesting. Here, where the boobs pops out a little bit. Oh, it's not that the bra is not the one popping up. It's the boobs. So yeah, how do you? You know, but by the way, I'm doing this. I'm trying to make a decision or a conscious decision to draw mostly from reference because I've noticed I've been trying to really force my imaginative mind, and I've realized that I just suck so bad because I'm just not I'm not experienced with like my experience in terms of like my visual library. It's just not good. So I have to face the fact that I just suck with imaginative stuff and just do more stuff like these. But instead of like being so married to the reference, I'm just gonna kind of stylize it a bit. So maybe doing gestures may help with that. I don't know. The knee, think of like an armor, like a little padding, kind of like that. Okay, here comes the folds. I'm so cooked. Gamay, oh you baka. So there's actually like a bit of padding for the finger, kind of like that. The hand is so hard to like simplify. Even like simplifying the hand is such a fucking. Relax. Don't cry. It's okay. Sometimes I want to cry when I do art. It's one of those things, you know. Oh my god. I'm sure I'm not the only one, but you know, it hurts like a motherfucker when you know you can't do the kind of art you want to do. For me, it's everything: drawing, painting. Doing it from imagination, it's just even from reference. But you know, we all start somewhere. We gotta try and just push ourselves. Right? Here's like a little bit of a. Oh, by the way, one of you mentioned in the comments, in terms of like the art review, you recommended this guy Fujimoto something, the guy who did Chainsaw Man, and I do like the way he draws. Again, I don't read manga, but I have seen their drawings, some of it anyway, online, and it looks kind of cool. It's like realistic, but kind of grungy or jaggedy at the same time. Not sure how to describe it, but pretty cool. But the thing is, when it comes to people like that, if they don't have like a social media page, I'm not gonna do it. For example, there's another comic or manga artist named Kei Orana. I actually did not know she had she's a manga artist. Well, maybe I did find out when I checked her Instagram, but the point is she did have a social media profile. So that's why I reviewed her work. Only later I found out she's responsible for the new anime that's out right now. It's the Gachukuta something. But the reason why I reviewed her work wasn't because she was a manga artist. It's because she had a profile online. So if someone doesn't have the profile for me to check, I'm not gonna do it. Like a Twitter, Instagram, ArtStation, I need, or even at least like a website. Even if it's not from their own like making, let's say there must be like a site or a page where it's like the featured work of yada yada yada. I'm having a hard time finding a page like that dedicated to an artist like Fujimoto. I mean, I can get a bunch of random images, but I don't always know where it's from. Oh, that's kind of my issue. Wait, you can't see the ear. It is the fucking problem. Like, where do you draw the fucking nose? The nose is not penetrating, or I'll draw this first. Oh my fucking god. It's over. It's over. See what? I don't even know where to draw like the fucking. And sometimes my eyes are too wide apart for some fucking reason. Like I still can't draw the eye. Even if it's straight on side view, it's just something that I'm not used to. Yeah. Okay, that to me that's close. That's fucking close enough. Max, you son of a bitch. You son of a fucking bitch. And even the eyebrows, it's kind of like that, actually. In this case, the reference photo or the drawing. Because sometimes when it comes to like anime stuff, they draw the eyebrow, but you can still see it through the hair. I do like that. So in that way, you can still see the facial expression, but in this case, it's kind of covered. This one goes on top. I mean, look at how cool this hand. It's not even complete, but it looks so fucking cool. Yeah. Hopefully this art thing will lead to somewhere in the future, but I don't really know anymore. Let's do a bit of. Okay. Let's try. There's a picture here of Freerem, which is kind of, it's a fan art, but there's hardly a like anything to draw because it's so like her face is covered, so I'm not gonna do it. Do this one. Wait, what's the size of my freaking brush? Because I want to say it's 7. Okay. We have this chick. Nice, kind of like that. This one is already looking a little bit messy. The thing is, I don't want to waste too many lines as well. Give me a second, my towel fell. I'm back. So not only did my towel fall, which I did pick up. Let me just test because my stylus also fell. Anyway, sorry. I also made some coffee. It's my 3rd cup of coffee. And I know it's not healthy to drink it often, but I just feel like I need it. You know, I have certain vices, and I think one of them is coffee. Like, I just can't live without it at this point. Now, by the way, you saw me earlier do this whole thing. You could do that, but I think it's gonna, with this kind of pen, it's too thick. So it's gonna look a bit ugly, so I think I'll just focus on less lines. So I know the arm is here, right? We'll try to figure this out in like less lines as possible. We can do that. Oh. Isn't that hot? Isn't that, guys, it's literally fucking hot. So she has like goggles here. Not sure how it looks like. You can actually see her face a little bit like that. It goes a little bit. Interesting, her eye does a bit of that. Her eyebrow goes like that. Can't really see her nose from this angle, but right, you can see her like ear and her earring. Do a bit of that, right? She's wearing like one of the swimming caps. I guess it's to help them swim better, you know, to reduce drag maybe, or friction, or whatever is holding them back. The water, obviously, when they're swimming. So we join the fingertips first, so it's kind of like that, and then the nail maybe, just a quick one. Oh, the thumb is a little too big. Whatever, I'll just do that. I should learn how to use the ref. Even if it's not exact, I'm just gonna wing it. I'm just if something is off a little bit from the reference, it's okay. If it looks good enough, I'm gonna go for it. Because I think if I do that often, I can bring that sort of same energy into my own work when I do make something original. It kind of pokes out a little bit, and then boom. Look at that strong angle. Look at the oof. We see an armpit. We one line here, right? One line here. And then so around the back, this is the back area, right? So that's gonna be the midpoint. Do you see this? This whole thing is like a freaking cylinder, right? This is or like a freaking shawarma or a sandwich. And then she got some nice, let's draw a bit of her clothing here. It's gonna be around there. Her swimsuit, basically. Interesting, it's a weird swimsuit. It kind of goes around like this. Interesting, not sure how... Man, this thing feels like math because there's so many freaking like strings. Does that? Oh my god. And then it does a little bit it goes around interesting. Like just after the freaking shoulder muscle. Interesting. Yeah. And then it does that. And around here it does. Damn, this thing is so fucking tight. Like it's wrapping around. It's I mean, well, it's a swimsuit, so I can't really expect much. But my god. Oh my god. What? By the way, I saw this chick on TikTok. I think she was doing a trend, like you don't know this about me, or kind of like that. Like they present an image of just themselves being normal. Like it's she was kind of cute, or hot, whatever. But it was like a normal photo. But in the next photo, it was her. Apparently, she like competed in swimming. And she had like a really good body. Not just like kind of this person I'm drawing now, but she had like a muscular body. And you can tell even because in the photo there were other swimmers too. Obviously it's a women's competition. But she had like, you could see the contrast of like typical swimmers who do have a nice build. And then her who was so freaking muscular. I mean, just beautiful, right? Beautiful physique. Like the muscle just it's a natural looking body, and it just looked so strong. Or she looks so strong. Jesus Christ. I mean, maybe you could even say it, because if you were to see the photo, she looked like a freaking statue. It was so cool, like a Greek statue, one of those. Except a female version. You know, if you look at Greek statues, a lot of the women, they're not as... I mean, they're kind of feminine, sure, but I want to see one where it's just like muscle. Like you can tell she's like a fighter of sorts. I want to see that. Alright. Okay, so do you see that? Imagine if I stuck to the previous original lines where I did this. It's gonna be too much. This is fine. You see that? I also need to learn how to simplify the edges. For example, instead of like capturing every single curve, I can just do this. Right? That's one line right here. 2, 3. You don't have to like. I mean, I'm not saying this is like a rule, but when you're trying to simplify things, stylize things, if you don't want to be too attached to the photo or to your reference, you can just simplify things. And by simplifying things, breaking things down in very like simple ways, you're already stylizing it. Are we done with this page? I think this page is, I mean, look at her proportions, or it may seem off, which it kind of is, but I don't know, if you saw this woman, the bodybuilder chick, you'd be like, yeah, she's buff. Can we go back? I'm gonna lock this to be safe. I'll go here. Okay, what time is it? 26 minutes. I can do one more page. I think so far we've been doing like for the past few episodes here on this channel or on this playlist, like 3 pages ish. But then again, some pages just have like 1 drawing or 2 drawings, so here it's a bit different because we're kinda. We'll see this one. We'll do this one quickly. So she has like her hand. It's kind of for a shortened, right? Square for a hand. You know, I want to learn how animators draw, because when they draw, they can just kind of simplify things to a really cool way. Like that. A little bit of muscle. There you go. You can see a bit of her head over here. Right, kind of like that. There you go. And then another finger. There you go. Do you see that? It's like a. The hand is like a freaking. It's almost a square essentially. Or a diamond of sort, or trapezoid, hard to say. Something like that. And then it does a bit of, I think my hand is too big. Whatever. See, this one is basically 1 line. It does that. It does that again. Oh, and then it does that. Maybe this hand should be a little. You know what? I'll use the power of technology. Hit Control T. Oh my god! Sometimes the Clip Studio Paint like freezes for a second, and that makes me panic a little bit. But it's okay. Kind of like that. Oops! A little bit of na 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 na. A little bit of na na na. What the fuck? Excuse me? Fucking. Sorry. Sometimes I curse when only when I record. I don't know, it just feels good to curse. I remember when you were a kid and you were not allowed to curse, and then there was eventually there came a time where you just started to curse. Like a freaking sailor. One of the most freeing feelings, by the way. You know, at this point, I may just have to zoom the fuck out because this thing is not working. Like that. Her face is kind of big. And this, for this thing, so I feel like we're using too many unnecessary lines, but whatever. We got a shoe, and it goes like this. It's okay to exaggerate some parts, so we're looking at the bottom of the shoe, right? It kind of goes a little bit like that. There you go. The knee is it's like a block, right? And then bow like a flesh. like a flush, and oh, boom. That line. Do you see that? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then it does a little bit of one line, and then bam. Right? Simplify it. Oh, it kind of curves a little bit. Kind of like that. Oh, there. Oh, well. Hello. I'm sorry. Got some nice. Oh. Look at that. It's like a freaking. We'll just draw it this way. It's like a freaking square at the tip. There's a bit of that. Right? Boom, boom. Boom. Clap the sound of my heart. The beat. On and on and on and on. Not sure what the lyrics are, but see, I'm not even seeing the full figure at this point. I'm sort of growing the thing. Like I start here and then I just work my way out. Not always the best way to do things, but sometimes it's just you can actually learn a little bit from it because you kind of know how far, or you kind of train your mind to see things in segments, and you learn how to see proportions a certain kind of way. Is that a good shoe? That's a very quick. Oh my, how do you do this? Boom, clap the sound of my heart, not me. Oh. Do you know sometimes you sing? Or you try to sing the lyrics of a song, but you don't know the lyrics, or you just make things up? It looks so stiff. Whatever. Okay, we'll try this character. Okay, maybe this time I won't mind doing some over lines a bit. Meaning, I won't mind if it's a little messy. Oh wow! Look at she has like a nice set of heels here. That's where the oh there. Ooh, oh my god! Nice arc of the foot. There you go. These two. Like yeah, the kind of the head is in the wrong place. Like I'm not even considering where the hair is. So you know what? Maybe we'll just draw a box. Because sometimes drawing a circle can be confusing to me a little bit. So here we're actually seeing the full figure for the most part, kind of like that. Right. The folding is happening here. Because her torso is being twisted. So it's kind of like this. You can see a bit of her crotch. Then wait. It goes body, protrudes out a bit for the butt. Yeah. Ugh, this is not looking good, guys. But you know, it's a gesture. I want to continue it. Not all gestures will look good, but hopefully it's gonna help me. At least again, you wanna. I think the major thing you learn from gestures is drawing the body, or getting used to drawing the body. Meaning is, for example, it's knowing which lines come ahead or which lines come first. That's a big one. And you sort of have the opportunity to see that when you're doing a bunch of gesture studies like these. Yeah. Now the photo is kind of cut, but it is what it is. Boom, clap the sound of my heart, not in, on and on and on. Like, if you know the song, you're like, what the fuck? This guy can't even freaking sing it. Do you see that? This is what happens when you have so many lines. Especially with a pen like this that's kind of thick. It's just not gonna look all too well. Beat the on and on and on and on. Does that make me crazy? There's like a little pocket here, like a little lake or a pond kind of like here. It's like an armpit in a way. I don't know. This is how I see. Okay, how do you draw like the finger? Okay, this is thumb, right? The thumb is kind of like that. Oh, there you go. There, oh, there. Oosh, that's how it's done. Relax. I mean, is it perfect? No, but it's like enough. Let me drink some coffee. It's not like you learn, let's say you do a figure like this, right? Like you learn every single piece. I mean, you could, but sometimes you don't. Sometimes you just learn a part of it. Maybe the intention is to learn a lot from it, but you don't end up doing that. So okay, I want to draw like the fingers here a bit, kind of like that. Does that make me crazy? Does that make me crazy? Look at them, look at them, look at them. Boom, clap the sound of my heart. What? I'm not even gonna draw the face at this point. I'm just not. They're probably thinking, oh, someone's a pussy. Yes, I'm a pussy. You're a coward. I am a coward. But cowards do survive. I was trying to mimic Starscream from Transformers, but it came out just weird. I want to be good at like expressions or mimicking people's voices, but I don't. You know, it doesn't always turn out the way I want it to. Boom, clap the sound of my heart. Okay, I'm gonna move on from this abomination. Sometimes the angles of the body of your reference, if it's weird, it's weird. And you can't really force it to not be weird. You know what we have right now? We got some toes. Finally some toes. There you go. Let's draw the tip of that toe. Like that, right? So that's the angle, right? And there's another kind of thing that goes on there. A little bit of, oh, and it does that, okay? We'll draw again a toe a little bit here. Is it perfect? No, but we'll just we can wing it a little bit. We can wing it kind of like that. Boom, it does that, right? Maybe it does a little bit of that. Goes further back, kind of like that. And the bow. Boom, clap the sound of my heart, don't mean it. I just like making my own lyrics. I'm not even making my own lyrics, I'm just mumbling at this point. Boom, clap the sound. Yeah, the back of the heel is actually more of a ball than a triangle, but a bit of a protrusion here for the ankle. Kind of a rough toe. Or a rough foot, but it's a good foot. You know, we gotta appreciate, you know, I'm not, some people like smooth soles, some people like them wrinkly. I don't really mind. To me, a foot is a foot. You know, a foot is a foot. Like, I just don't think there should be like a separation between the feet. Right? I mean, the only major distinction I have for the feet would be maybe the way the second toe is oriented, or is like placed. If your second toe is longer than your big toe, you are master race. Kind of like myself. You might think, oh, you're biased because that's how your foot looks. Guys, if you look at most Greek statues or even Roman statues, which toe is the longer one? That's right, folks. It's the second toe. Do you know why? It's the standard for beauty. And I'm not saying it because that's how my foot is made or designed by the gods. It's just fact. I mean, if you want to look at pretty, beautiful sculptures, you look at the Greeks, the Romans. So, what did the Romans think is beautiful? The second toe being just a little bit longer, right? Obviously longer, and that's all you need to know. I'm not saying anyone who doesn't have that is like lesser than. I'm just saying you're not master race. It reminds me of that scene from, what do you call that? It's a superhero movie or a series. It's like a play on like Superman. I forgot the guy's name. I'm forgetting the freaking movie. It's a bad boys or boys, the boys, kind of like that. This toe is looking horrendous, by the way. And there was a scene there where he goes, "I am master race." I'm not a good. I don't think I explained it well, but if you know, you know. Okay, now I think I'm struggling with this foot a little bit. It is what it is. You know, as much as there are days where I can draw, but I can't always be number one, you know. Every time I suck, someone else is winning, so I'm only sucking right now because I want someone else to win. It sounds like you're coping. Shh, I'm not coping. You just don't understand the science of this thing, right? By the way, I'm not. I try to be fit, or I try to work out a bit here and there. I just work out from home, but I'm not. I want to be really fit, but I'm just not there. But I do engage. I do follow people who are into fitness, you know, trainers and stuff like that. And there has been recent beef. I know, drama or chismes or chismise. We just say chismes, chismes. And it's these people who are like those who constantly talk about science-based whatever have been getting the heat. And I think this foot is way better. I mean, yeah, the toes are nicer, but I think I did the heel a bit better with this guy. Yeah, it's like the science-based dudes. No one is saying science is bad or research is bad, but people who don't understand how, or people who are easily manipulated by the appeal to authority, these are the kind of people that are kind of annoying. Because to them, it's like science can't be questioned. Like they think it's some kind of it's almost like a religion at that point. You know what I mean? Like, because someone wears a lab coat, they go brain dead. So if someone says anything that contradicts for example, it could be anything healthy or food related. Maybe this food is not so bad or is not so good for you, because a bunch of people in lab coats say it's good for you. And anything outside of that is called like a conspiracy theory or whatever. Like, people become so... Wait, what am I saying? It's just like for some people, it's the military. If you see someone in a police uniform, in a military uniform, they go brain dead. Meaning they don't question those folks. For others, in the other side, it's the lab coats. You wear a white lab coat, or you wear a nurse's or doctor's uniform, like they go brain dead. So like it's this appeal to authority that just it's a disease, in my opinion. Like, I respect people who work these jobs, but I'm also not like, because you told me to, I'm gonna do it. Like, you know what I mean? Again, like, it's a balance, right? But anyway, so I'm just glad that these people are getting there. But I'm not glad, but I'm not surprised. I'll say that I'm not surprised that they're getting their comeuppance. Is it a word? I think it's a word, comeuppance, or basically they're getting their karma. They always behind their science. Actually, scientifically speaking, according to science like that, to the point where you lack wisdom. Like, you don't even know how to interpret information anymore. To the point where you're ignoring your own eyes because my science says so. You know what I mean? Like, you have to be careful with this with these types, because they will, if you can see something is red, they will find jargon or certain kinds of wording. They will make it seem like what is red is blue. And especially nowadays, just be careful with these types. Like, people who want to like change your reality, or people who want to change your reality, meaning you see something that's obviously wrong, but they say it's not wrong. You know. Now this one is more of an anime, but again, we're focusing on people, right? So regardless if it's like a stylized or a re-referenced or an anime style, if it's a person, I'm gonna try drawing it. Now, is it gonna be perfect? Probably not, but it's the attempt that counts. Anyway, so yeah, just be careful with this, with these people who lead with their expertise. Again, I'm not saying experts don't exist, but don't think they're above. Don't put anyone on a pedestal. I'll say that. Like, fucking chill. Just chill, daddy, chill. The back of the neck is usually, it's gonna be behind the ear usually, just close to the ear, but not kind of like that. Anyway, so yeah. So what am I saying? I was talking about, oh yeah, my expert. Especially here in the US, the two sides thing. I think it's already outdated at this point. You know, the left versus right, you know, Democrat versus Republican. I don't think people my age or the new generation, I guess, doesn't really think that way as much, which I'm very happy with, but I don't think it's fully disappeared. I think it's still a big part of the culture, of the overall culture, of the culture war. But I think it's such a outdated thing. Because how can you see the big picture if we're still thinking in left and right, you know? Because in one side I'll be called like a communist or a libtard. And then if I go to the other side, I'll be called like a MAGA or a blue MAGA. Like, people who use these like terms all the time, it's like fuck you. And I think most people in the US don't have like a side, right? Which is great, but to me, what that means is you're gonna get called everything at that point. But I think, again, it's there's like an awakening of sorts. Like, that's so outdated. Like, we have... Okay, I'm not gonna go there. Because I want to eat, you know. Okay, I'm gonna move on. Boom, clap the sound of my heart. On and on. You know what? The eye is a bit too close. I'm gonna cheat. I'll hit tab. I'll go to tools. I'll hit my liquify. I know I'm a cheating. You cheating hard. That's a reference to Bumblebee Transformers. You cheating hard. I think it's from part 3. I don't know. Is it part 3? I think. Oh yeah, Megan Fox was still there before she was replaced by the. I don't even know who the blonde girl's name is. Like, I don't recognize her as a person. I'm kidding, because I'm used to Megan Fox and Shia LaBeouf. I kind of miss them, but you know, whatever. I get it. I mean, rumor has it like Michael Bay was like so aggressive or something, or it was just unsafe. That's kind of my understanding of it, my loose understanding. So I don't know. I mean, I've seen like the explosions and stuff, so I kind of get it. But at the same time, like, damn. But no one's gonna replace you though. But I won't focus on the fact that it's no longer there. I'll focus on the fact that it was. Oh, right. It was a thing. 2007, Transformers, What I've Done. Even Iron Man was showing, I think, around that time. Like, there was a time where it was somewhat peaceful. I mean, it was still chaotic, but it was not like everything is happening now. It's a little more obvious now. If you know, you know. I'll relax. I want to eat. And I'm sure you want to eat too. So, because they might deport me. No, because again, sure, I'm American, but I'm not born here. I wasn't born here, so I'm naturalized. So I'm not a full. I don't really have the same privilege, I guess. So it's just one of those things that you gotta be hush hush, gotta face the facts. And if you're someone who's naturalized as well, you gotta just not now. You're not safe, okay? Especially if you're Latino or brown, I guess, or just if you're just gotta be careful, or you're a little too talkative. Or maybe you see, okay, I'm not gonna say it because even the word is kind of, it could even get flagged. So I ain't saying nothing. Well, it's a cool anime. I like it. What's oh shit, we're at 53 minutes. So guys, I think I'll stop here because I want to make sure I have enough time to work on my own stuff, because I have so many videos to do. And yeah, I need to set like a limit, I think, because let's go back to this page. Let me lock this. It's more than one drawing, so I should give myself some grace, so I can do like 2 pages for about an hour. I could do one more, but I gotta color these too. I'm gonna make a new group, yeah. So I guess because in the previous episodes, we were doing like 1-2 sketches, maybe 3 max per page. So maybe that's why I was able to make 3 pages. But for this kind of multiple sketch per page, I gotta be realistic. 2 pages is enough. So what I also do to end like the episode is I'll color it yellow. That's just how I do to help me with the thumbnail, number 1, but also because I don't have to draw as much, I can sort of talk more. So we're gonna basically the study session, the class is over, so you can leave right now. We're just gonna be spending some time together doing some coloring like a child. Anyway, let's zoom in. Let's hit tab. Wait, are we in the right layer? I'll make sure this is also a multiply, so I don't forget. Okay, I'll turn this guy off. We'll go back here. Oops. I'm gonna hit tab and hide that. So there you go. Okay. So let's spend the last or the remaining minutes for this episode just coloring away. Just coloring away. Yeah. I want to also get efficient with my episodes and with my videos. And along with that, I want to really get good at my art as well and develop my art skills. And I'm kind of doing this right now, right? I'm studying, but I'm recording it at the same time. But the thing is, for those of you who do content, my watch time or my view retention is actually kind of low. Like people don't, it makes sense. For example, if it's like a commentary thing, basically it's closer to a podcast. People drop, like it's not like a consistent thing. Like they'll listen, like based on what I've read in ChatGPT, it kind of makes sense, or it's normal for people to have like a shorter view duration on average. So for certain kinds of videos, which I do, so that's fine. But my point is, what am I trying to say? I have a lot of videos to do, right? And they do take a while. But I also wanna. I'm trying to balance. I'll say this. I'm trying to balance both content and art. And I think it's a common thing to struggle with nowadays. Well, depending on what your platform is as well, but regardless of your platform, I'm sure you're experiencing the same thing, whether it's YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, you know? Because right now, I do recommend you start your marketing or your brand building now, even if you don't think like you have the skills. It's better to start now, so when your skill catches up, you already have like somewhat of a decent following. So you're not totally starting from scratch. And I suggest you learn now, because it also takes a while to just get used to recording yourself. Even if you don't talk in your videos, drawing or painting while knowing you're being recorded, either through screen recording software or through your own camera, it adds a bit of anxiety. Now for me, I'm sort of, it's gone for the most part because I've done this for so long. But it takes some time to get used to that, so might as well start now, right? And I think it's and even learning, for example, in Clips with the Paint, you have like a feature where there's like a time-lapse feature. I don't use it because it's limited in terms of like size, and it's too fast. I mean, you could slow it down in some kind of software, but it's just not a good look. I'd rather just screen record with like a recording software, and in that way I can also see like the UI that's being like used. Rotate this bitch. I'm sorry. Yeah. So that's something I'm struggling with a little bit, but or I'm working through. But I am getting better at it. I think. I think in this year, we're kind of late in this year, but we're catching up. Even if it's better late than never, right? So I think I've been getting more into my own art, in my just doing more art in general. Right now, in the end of this year, like October, September, October. So, it is what it is. I think I just need to figure out some stuff for YouTube, and other things, but anyway, what else can we chat about? Art. Well, we're doing it right now. Proving. I recorded a couple of episodes. I still have to edit them, but it's all audio recording. But some tips, advice on like staying consistent. I think I'm gonna make that the audio for my art sessions. So it's gonna be detached. Like the audio is gonna be somewhat detached from like the video in the background. So it's gonna be mostly like a podcast kind of thing. Like a commentary video. Not so much. It's not gonna be specific to the kind of art I'm doing. In the background, it's what's gonna happen in the background is it's gonna have a couple of like a montage. It's basically a montage of different like art sessions or drawing, painting sessions I've been doing. So it's not really that important. It's just a way to have something in the background. Isn't that cool? Anyway. Yeah. I've also been I've also been somewhat like pressured in a way, because I just, you know I don't have all the time in the world, so I'm kind of, as much as I wanna take my time, I know I can't afford to take my time. So a part of me wants to, like, I just can't rest. But that's just how things are. And it's not always a fun thing, knowing that you always have to keep grinding. I mean, maybe you can relax a little bit if you have things figured out. That's why I don't like it when people talk about, especially people who already have like a place, meaning their career is sort of in check and stuff like that. I mean, that's nice, but if you're still somewhat figuring it out, meaning stability isn't, you're struggling more than you are stable, which is a lot of us, but, or I'll say me, it's basically me, then people talk from their own experience, so I won't blame people for that. But to me, here's what I do. I don't listen to their advice when it comes to relaxing, because I just can't afford to. Sorry. And maybe some of you are in that position, and that's okay. If you're tired, if you're like stressed out, same. Now, we all have different circumstances. I think it's best to just not focus too much to focus on yourself instead, to make sure you're good, or you're just working. For as long as you're working and you're not just randomly being busy, but you're working on your craft in some kind of way, even if it seems like you're not, even if it seems like messy and the results are just not all the way there. I know it's hard, just even me saying that it's hard, but what can you do? What can I think about to make it easier? Maybe progress. Maybe it's good to just measure your progress, like how far you've come, or to look at your recent improvements. For example, I like the way I'm doing things with this playlist. It looks kind of cool to me. Right? Adding the yellow, it looks a little more consistent. I think I'll stop here. Okay. So, to me, that's progress. It's something that I can be somewhat like, okay, I'm doing something. Let's just turn this guy, hide this guy off. I think this is set in multiply, right? Yes. And yeah, my brain is kind of fried, but yeah, even my sleep is not always like good, but like it's sporadic sometimes. Like I don't always sleep at the same time, which I know is not healthy, but then again, work has to be done. Work has to be done. And especially in these times, like because people talk about, recession and stuff like that. I don't even fully understand what's going on, but I know it's not good. And the best you can do is rely on yourself and make sure you're good at your end. Especially if you're doing something like this, like something creative, and you're making some money from it, meaning you're monetized in some way, or you plan to be monetized in some way, with your creative pursuit. Now is not the time. Now is not the time to like slack off. Especially again with this kind of craft, making content as well. I talked about this, I think, in a YouTube short, and I've learned this so long ago. It's safer to be at the top than at the bottom, right? Because in the bottom, you're fighting for scraps, and sure, it can be somewhat stressful in the top. You're gonna have to make your way, you compete, essentially beat other people, because not everyone is gonna be in the same level, right? That's just fact. But you're gonna be safer, and I think that's what people want: safety, security. But you can't wait for people to give you that. You sort of have to get it yourself and be good at your end. You know, yourself, your family. So I just recommend working, especially if you're doing this art thing. It's already like a weird thing. It's kind of like I would put art in the same place as entrepreneurship or the business folk. We're quite similar, I guess. Like, there are fundamentals, but there's also no rules at the same time. You sort of have to you have to keep going. That's the best way I can explain it, but it's true. So wherever you are in your journey, I hope you're doing well. Even if you're not, just keep at it. That's the best. I know it seems cheap, especially if you're in that not so good place. You're not feeling like, I'm even making progress. I know. I think there are days where I don't feel that way, and there are days where I'm like, where you just feel like, oh shit, like you start breathing hard a bit, or you start getting anxious. Yeah, Jesus. But it is what it is, and I think this happens to a lot of people. You just don't show it because obviously it's kind of embarrassing. Imagine randomly like having like an anxiety attack. So embarrassing. The shame would like kill me. Anyway, we'll just do like a circle to make it like rough, because I don't know where the edge of that head is, but anyway. So to me, I'm sometimes it's like am I being naive? A little bit probably, but at the same time I'm not. Like, I'm being rational. And you kind of have to be both. You have to be crazy and sort of childlike in a way, but you want to match that energy with a bit of that developed brain of yours. Well, hopefully you have one. Because I think that's a good balance where you have like the dreamer mindset, meaning you can see the big picture. You have like a big goal, a direction in life. You know, people often lose that, by the way. Many reasons, but the point is people can lose that. So if you have that, I think that's good. But it can't be the only thing, sadly. You also have to be smart enough about it. For example, learning to be sustainable with it, learning to market yourself, uh, knowing what's like. It's also learning about how to manage yourself, right, as a person, because there's time management, there's work management, energy management. All of that is part of you. Self-management. Can you manage yourself? Right? Do you know what makes you tick, what makes you go, what makes you not want to do things, what motivates you, what demotivates you? Knowing these things will help you make better decisions. Even knowing what you want. Because if you don't know what you want in terms of a goal, you're gonna end up doing a bunch of too many random things. Experimentation is good, but you want to experiment towards something specific, right? I forgot to draw the toe, so I'll just suggest it kind of like that. Oh, smart. Right? So for me, if I wanna do this long term, make a living out of it to the point where it can support not just me, but my whole family. That means what? I gotta be different. I gotta be top dog. So I'm doing what I can. So even if I'm not the best, what is something that I can do which will set me apart? And that's a simple one. But it's not many people do it. Is I'm gonna show up. Right? I'm gonna be consistent. And just by doing that, you're already separating yourself from the competition. I look at most of I look at people who I admire, whether art, content, people who do both, but they show up and they don't often have like the best artwork, the best content. Sometimes they kind of mismanage. If they do both, it's kind of, sometimes they lean more on one side in certain times or at certain times. So they're not perfect in any kind of way, but they show up. Like they're always sort of just there, persistent as fuck. So yeah, just keep at it. That's what I'm doing. I'm keeping at this. I wanna show you okay, we're almost done. Let me zoom out. Yeah, we're almost done. What's your time? 1:12. So yeah, so 2 pages. I think we've learned that 2 pages is kind of okay enough for about an hour's worth of work. So yeah, you know what? Maybe I'll just cover this whole in yellow. Simple. Yeah, I want to end the episode on a good note, not on a doomer like mindset. I don't know what you're doing right now or where you are in your journey. Sometimes when I look at my own work, I'm like, what am I doing? But at the same time, I look back and I go, wow, I've changed, I'm improving. And the common thing that I did that led to me improving in the end, without even like fully focusing on it, was the fact that I just showed up, was the fact that I tried. I keep making mistakes, but as I keep making mistakes, I develop more of a solid thing. I get refined. It's kind of the whole iron sharpens iron, right? Like, yeah, it feels painful too. Maybe I'm not using the right quote, but it's kind of rough in the beginning, but over time, and if you're trying to smoothen something that's rough, you're gonna feel a lot of friction. But it's through that friction that you will get to that. You will eventually reach a moment, a time where things smoothen out. But you have to, or things smoothen out and just become easier, right, or more polished. But to get there, you're gonna have to go through some rough patches, and things have been getting a little. It's not easy, but it's getting easier. You can make it easier by just showing up, because by showing up, it gives you the opportunity to find what works, what doesn't work, and it gives you a lot of information, a lot of data, so you can make all sorts of adjustments and decisions, so you can just focus more on the path, right? But to get those bits of information, you need something. You need some kind of experience, some data, and that comes from just doing the work. That comes from showing up. So wherever you are, just in your journey, in your past, just make sure you show up today. However that looks like, you just gotta. Oh, I forgot the spot over here. Oops, the pen is too small, or the brush is too small. Just show up. I think it's supposed to be like that. I don't even know. And I'll be honest, I don't always know what I'm doing, but I'm here. So be where you are, be where you're supposed to be, and that's where your craft art is. So I'll end the episode there. Hopefully it helps in some way, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.